Hey, it's Jack from Alphacharts with a state of the market video. Today is June 28th, 2025. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. I thank you all for watching the video. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, or if you're on Twitter, post and retweet the video. Appreciate that. Also, if you're on Twitter, I do have an educational group where I give a ton of content to my members, from in-depth market videos, extended watch list, focus list videos with places where I'm considering buying and managing risk on the chart, midweek videos, midweek market notes, annotated charts, again, daily scans, posts just for subscribers, usually every day. And all kinds of stuff. We usually do live streams once a month. I don't tell you to buy or sell, right? Just what I'm thinking about doing with the market and where I want to manage risk. It's my personal watch list. It's my personal, basically it's what I'm doing in the market. I'm just sharing with everybody. Everyone makes their decisions. If you work full time, if you have a family, if you're new to the market, I think for $10 a month, which is all this costs, this is a wealth of value for you. So if you're interested, go to Alpha 365, click on the subscribe button right there, and it's month to month. There's no contracts or anything like that. So check it out, right? If you're a YouTube only watcher, I do have a YouTube subscriptions. It's exactly the same on the video content. And so you get all that the videos through YouTube. Nothing is different. So check that out if you're YouTube only. Thank you. All right, let's get into the charts now. On the SPY, I mean, we have this very clear big base horizontal area, and you see that this week, it was a very strong week for the SPY, and it basically just went higher, right? And broke out. And, there's nothing bearish about this chart. We closed at all-time highs. Now, are we extended? Yeah, I think we are a little extended from the moving averages. And so don't be shocked if we see some sort of selling into next week. Remember, it's a holiday shortened week as well. There's gonna be a ton of people on vacation, and chances are volumes is gonna be really, really low. So if they want to pull the market in some, maybe retest the breakout, maybe 609 or something like that. Let the moving averages catch up. Next week's a perfect week for that. So remember, nothing goes straight up, but a little pullback. If there's names that you like, that would be the spot probably to start to consider them, right? Buying, I think the pullbacks are probably buyable based on this chart. Now, if we start going lower than that, well, that's a different story, but your risk would be very, very good. Let's look at it on the weekly chart here. There we go. You see on the week, price was up 3.44% in the SPY in the week. That's a very strong week. So don't be surprised if you get maybe an inside week or something like that, just to consolidate that through. RSP was up 1.8, so not quite as good, right? So it shows you the big caps and mega caps really carried the day, carried the week, but it still participated, and still looks really, really, really nice. Nothing really negative about this chart either, right? It's gone up and it's continuing higher. Looking at Qs. Qs broke out even a little bit faster than the SPY, right? And again, it's extended. Wouldn't mind seeing a little pullback. We're not talking about back maybe into 540, something like that. That'd be absolutely nice. 540, 535, and then likely going higher. And that's kind of like my line in the sand. Below 535, I'm going to get a little bit more cautious, but I don't think price is going to get there because, this is strength. Let's look at the weekly, sorry. Weekly was up 4% on the week. Very strong week for the Qs. And equal weights were up 2.77. So again, you saw a little divergence there, but still participated. Still closed at all-time weekly closing highs. Looking at the daily, you know, Didn't close on a daily high, but weekly closing highs it did catch. So again, very very strong looking chart on the equal weighted cues. Just shows you that the breadth is still very good, right? Looking at mid caps, finally closed above that 200 day and above this general supply area that goes back pretty far actually. Um, and so it's starting its uptrend. So again, we're seeing participation on the mid caps and looking at the small caps. They're right there at the 200 day as well. So they did participate as well. Not quite as strong. I still think, they're more of an avoid for me. But they're participating. That looks really, really good. Let's see what they were up. That was up, okay, 3% on the mid, on the smalls, and 2.6 on the mid. So yeah, they participated just fine on the week, right? So that all looks great. Going to the key sectors, XLF hasn't quite broken out yet, but again, we have beautiful participation up, 3% on the week. SMH was up 7% on the week. I mean, that's really what, I mean, we want to see SMH leading, right? That's really good sign. And then they did, obviously, right there at all-time highs. And yeah, just create some sort of, gnarly looking base. That's it, right? But right back to all-time highs. Beautiful. And let's look at XSD, the equal weighted. They were up 5%. So you can see it was all semiconductors. Again, they are back with that kind of gnarly-ish double bottom-esque type of base. Not quite all-time highs, but still participated just fine. IYT, transports, they were up 5% on the week. And then we'll look at XTN because I like that one better, 5.32. So yeah, transports did very, very well on the week, still under the 200 day. But again, they're participated, they're going the right direction. It looks just fine. Housing. This low right here was an important one for me, and it never violated it. And they may actually made a slightly higher low right there and really did kind of well since then, up 4% on the ITB. I think housing's another really important sector, and housing doing well is important. XHB was up almost 4% as well. Again, you're still underneath that maybe supply area, but I like how each low is kind of higher, right? That looks really good. Looking at the Mag 7, we had a potential rising wedge. It busted out higher than it, so that looks awesome. Maybe extended, probably needs to pull back a little bit or consolidate inside days, something like that. On the week, up 5%. Again, super strong. You see that why the mags probably led spies and Qs. Yeah, a little pullback, and then probably, what was resistance would probably become support and, likely to move higher, I think. And then finally, looking at Bitcoin, this is the IBIT Bitcoin ETF. Um, you know, just consolidating right near all-time highs and a breakout in Bitcoin, and you can almost see the little flag it's creating right there. The little breakout in Bitcoin right there would be extremely, extremely bullish, right? Because Bitcoin, in my opinion, is just another risk asset. And maybe the riskiest of the risk assets. And so if this one's moving higher, chances are all of these are moving higher with it. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing negative I can say about the market. It looks really good. Though I guess the worst thing I can say is it got too extended. It did too good last week, right? And probably likely needs some sort of consolidation or pullback. We don't always know what that looks like, but chances are that will give us some good opportunities for potential pullback buys. All right. If you like this type of commentary and want just a ton more of it, again, they're going way more in depth. Check out my subscriber group. It's only $10 a month. It's month to month. I think it's worth a try. All right. Y'all take care. Thank you very much.